battle was nothing compared to what was coming next. After some quick repairs, Calvin and the South Dakota joined the Combined Task Force 61 and are assigned to assist U.S. forces in the Solomon Islands. In August, the Americans had taken Henderson Field, a Japanese-constructed airstrip on Guadalcanal. This unsurprisingly pissed off the Japanese, as it was crucial for their plans in the Pacific, so the Marines stationed at Henderson found themselves under constant attack from land, sea, and air. By November, it's become clear to both sides that whoever controls Henderson Field will likely control the Pacific. On the night of November 13th, the naval battle at Guadalcanal begins, and the Americans take heavy casualties, losing 6 ships and 4 more being heavily damaged. Though losses were steep, they had prevented the bombing raid on Henderson Field, and the following night, Calvin, along with the crew of the South Dakota, joined the battle. Fighting breaks out near midnight, and the Americans are again taking heavy losses. 3 of the escorting destroyers are sunk by Japanese torpedoes, and the last is badly damaged. The South Dakota and another battleship, the USS Washington, are all that's left of the American naval offensive that night. The South Dakota prepares to attack, but suddenly the ship is hit with an electrical failure that takes all of its weapons offline. Calvin, along with the rest of the crew, are sitting ducks. The Japanese searchlights soon find the ship in the darkness, and the blinding lights are quickly followed by a barrage of cannon fire. The South Dakota is hit 26 times in a span of just 4 minutes. Calvin is hit with shrapnel from the bombardment that knocks out his teeth and badly damages his face. He looks around and sees other men have suffered far worse injuries and scrambles to his feet to rush to help whoever he can to safety. He quickly sees that many of his fellow sailors had not survived the blast, and he begins to take the belts off the dead and use them as tourniquets on those who were injured. Remember, he's just 12 years old. He spends the rest of the night tending to the wounded. That night aged me, said Calvin years later. I mean, how could it not have? Following this battle, the badly damaged South Dakota somehow survives and sails back to New York for repairs. Calvin is awarded the Bronze Star and the Purple Heart for his heroics in the battle, and besides his jaw, he's feeling great. He's a war veteran who proudly served his country and returned alive. He's ready to ship out again, but history is sometimes cruel to its heroes. See, his Karen of a mom somehow finds out that Calvin was in fact not at his grandma's house this whole time. Took her a while. And calls the US Navy to complain that they sent her 12-year-old son off to war. When the Navy confirms this, they throw him in the brig for 3 months. When he was released, Calvin was excited to get back to fighting, but instead, the Navy discharges him on April 1st, 1943, and they strip him of all his medals. This all seemed like a sick April Fool's joke, but it was true.